Hi there, folks. This is Sam Price, and welcome to another episode of Probate Notes. I have with me a dear friend of mine. She is a publisher of a newspaper. She's going to talk to us about publishing and probate cases. Welcome, Margie Miller with City News Group. Hi there, Margie.
Hi there, Sam. How are you?
Awesome. Thanks for being on today.
Thanks for having me.
You have a really interesting background about how you got into the newspaper publishing business. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and your background?
Okay. I am a real estate broker by profession since 1979. And in 2006, I was given the opportunity to purchase 3 publications. And these publications were adjudicated. And I'll explain what adjudicated means in a minute. But it was Colton City News, Grand Terrace City News, Loma Linda City News. And I didn't know it at the time what a blessing it was going to be. And I also didn't know at the time what a responsibility it was going to be.
What type of information do people need to include to have an obituary?
The legal part of an obituary, of course, is you want the legal name on the birth certificate to match the death certificate, if possible. And then also date of birth and date of death, where they were born, where they were deceased, and family. Because an adjudicated newspaper is a legal document. And so when people start doing their genealogy, many times they will find information in the adjudicated newspapers. And that's why. So that's why you'll see is
Oh,
predeceased by a spouse or a child, and then you'll see where the um, the deceased has family members still alive. And then the memorial part of it, and I love that part, is, what did they do for a living? And where did they live? And what was their hobbies? And, you know, a little bit about who they were while they were alive. And we call that the memorial part of the obituary.
mhm. And then after the obituary, there might be a probate matter. And
Yes.
so with a probate case, if I am representing a personal representative of an estate applying to be appointed by the court, then we need to be able to publish in the newspaper about this petition for the administration of an estate.
Yes.
Your paper takes those types of publications as well.
Yes, we do. So the form number is DE 111 and DE 121. And I believe you could explain the difference between those two better than I.
Yeah. So a DE 111 is the actual petition for probate seeking appointment of a personal representative with letters. And then a DE 121 is a notice of administration of an estate. So that's notifying the parties about the upcoming court hearing.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I think is interesting is that uh, as a newspaper, you just publish what we tell you to publish.
Absolutely. Many times the in pro per people without an attorney will come in and look for advice from us as a publisher. They've gone to court, they've gotten, or the courthouse, they've gotten the forms, and then they come to us for advice. And we're very strict about not giving any legal advice. That's not our job. Our job is to give notice to anyone that would uh, want to go to court and be heard, but we are not there to tell them how to fill out the forms or how long they have to be published. Uh, and because I have a JD, I'm not an attorney, but because I have a JD, I'm very, very careful about not doing anything to practice law without a license.
Okay. Um, have you ever had to send in an affidavit of where your paper circulates or where a publication comes out?
The courts send out to us about our adjudication, And then we verify that we have our adjudication, what the court case number is, and it was established at the time of the adjudication. So that's the area that we cover. And
Gotcha.
they don't dispute that. It would take a court case to dispute the adjudication and the distribution of that newspaper.
Now, on your website, does it also allow for publication in newspapers besides the city news?
Yes, we do. We have affiliations with other newspapers, and we are actively looking to grow that. Our software is so phenomenal
Yeah.
that we have helped other newspapers stay alive, and we would really like to do that. So we make it very affordable for them to join us.
So, what we've done in the past is either, for some papers, we've had to call them and say, "Hey, we'd like to publish," and they ask us all this information over the phone. Some newspapers, we have to email them, and then they email us back. I once had this wasn't your paper, but I once had a paper that we sent an email and they somehow missed our email and they didn't publish. And I'm like, but you didn't publish. And now when we email them, we say, "Hey man, did you get our email?" Just to verify you got it, right?
Confirmation, yes.
Yeah. So I think that having a website where you input the information, you verify it immediately because you know that you typed in what it says. There's no misspellings, you double checked it, and you verify the dates on your site is a really good service to the people who need publications.
Yes. And once you submit your publication, it immediately gets published on our website. So you can verify it right away. And you will know that if it's on the website, it will be in the hard copy as well.
So it's kind of like a 850 petition, a petition for surcharge or a will contest. Those require personal service. And if we can't have a process server walk up to someone and serve them, or we can't serve them by substitute service or some other way, we could get a court order and serve someone by publication and publish in a newspaper. So we have to show what efforts we've done to try to serve that person and get that court order. But for whatever reason, we can't serve them personally. And that requires 4 publications.
Yes. And that's why it's important to use an adjudicated newspaper that actually does deliver a lot of newspapers. Some of the newspapers have been bought up and they publish, but they may print 500 copies is all. And I don't think that that's serving what the courts originally intended. The whole purpose of public notice is to get the information out into the public so the right people will see it when they need to see it.
And part of that order specifies which paper to publish in. So the court is approving the newspaper beforehand by signing the order.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Once that 4th publication is done, they're served.
That's exactly right. And the courts are very diligent about keeping a list of those newspapers that are adjudicated and approved by the courts.
Yeah. So really, let's go over best practices when someone is going to publish whatever type of publication they need to get done. Can we go over what would be the best practices from your standpoint of what they need to do?
First of all, know when we are publishing and make sure that they get it into us on time so that we can put it in the rotation. I always think it's best to use an attorney with a probate case because there's a lot of information that has to be done correctly. And you think we get it incorrect sometimes from the probers that they come back and have to republish again. And that's just an expense and it's also time consuming that they're not accomplishing what they set out to accomplish.